Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my dinosaur world. Today we will be going underground. As you may know, a couple episodes back we found this place while doing some mining, I believe. This giant pretty looking cave system. And I was thinking we turn this into a Smilodon habitat. We open up the roof for a large part, let some natural light in, and then we turn this into like a lush cave, but not a Minecraft lush cave, but a Fern lush cave, you know? Put my own signature on it. And I think that will be pretty cool. Maybe we can even turn it into two, because it is kind of big and Smilodons aren't that huge. So maybe we can split it down the middle, like here. And then on this side have Smilodon, and on the other side maybe have another prehistoric creature. This one has some more headspace. Maybe we can open up this area as well. Let some natural light in from there. Oh, and maybe we can have like these holes sticking out on top. Like one there, and then like above ground we can have like an exhibit that incorporates the big holes in the ground. Maybe we could have like waterfalls coming down the holes, so we have fresh water down here. There's a whole bunch of options that we have. So let's get started. I think first I will clear out all of the ores in here, because it's kind of busy everywhere. Just in general, this place needs some landscaping, so the dirt has to go, all of the granite sticking out has to go, gravel, or just cover it with a layer of grass. I could do both. So I made a little start to the skylights, but it is still a little thin. I'd like to have it like at least the size of this hole, of the dirt hole, instead of that. But still, it is on the smaller side still. So I feel like I'm going to be making this a whole lot bigger. I'm gonna run out of buttons if I keep doing that, because they keep falling off. Maybe I should just vein mine this. Yeah, actually that just works faster and better. Of course, I'll refine these edges, but now that you're down here, you can actually see some sun rays coming in. And as I widen this hole, and probably put one, maybe even a bigger one over here, I feel like this will really get a really unique atmosphere down here. Okay, so I have some ideas. So, first of all, Smilodon, as we have established. Then, over here somewhere, we are going to have an entrance, which is hopefully going to be like a big Smilodon skull, and then you kind of walk into the skull, take the stairs down, and then you come out somewhere over here. And then hopefully we can make it go right along here. Bit of a curve this way, so you can like really see into here. And then I was thinking maybe have the path go all the way around here. Maybe. So you can really see everything, and then it loops up around there. So maybe if we put, for instance, a mammoth in here, we can have like a whole 360-degree viewing area, and then you just kind of loop back around. So you can choose when you come down, first the mammoths, then the Smilodons, or the other way around. I fear that may be the plan, and I'm liking it, so I'm sticking to it. It would be cool as well if we could have like if we had snow down here. Maybe it's like a separated climate from above ground. So it could be like Ice Age stuff. So we could have... I don't know if Smilodon lived in snowy environment. Maybe not, but I'm like 50-50 on should I go for like an accurate enclosure, or should I go for, wow, that looks unique, that looks nice, you know? Oh, we can have Megaloceros. One of the two. We can have that one down here as well. That could go in the snow, absolutely. That would be so cool. Maybe we can split this up into 3s. Because we do have a bunch of DNAs of the... Oh, we also have Elasmotherium. The terror birds I'm gonna do at a later time. I don't know a lot about this Platybalodon. And the quagga is kind of boring, so maybe we can have like a little horse ranch for that, but that's like at the bottom of my list probably. I also want to get started on expanding the aquarium. There's so many things I want to do. Actually, what if we have tiered layers? Top layer or top floor is a walkway about this height. We have the Smilodon over here. Then we have one over on this height, which could be the Megaloceros. I don't know how to pronounce any of these, I'm sorry. And then finally we could have like a mammoth down here or something. I don't know yet. I don't know what a good idea is. Is there any... Sorry for the cheaty cam, but is there any other caves that we could like connect and make it a little bigger maybe? Oh, there's a dungeon right there. Not really. It's all more tiny stringy caves. This is pretty unique. There is this. This could be cool for like a big fish or something. Perchance. Where is that? That kind of ties in well with this. Maybe I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, a bit out of scope, and there isn't really anything we can connect to it. I mean, there is this area, but I've decided to section it off because it would make this area too big. Yeah, I'm happy with that. This is definitely going to be one. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in this episode. And then the rest will be done at a later date. Now, you may be wondering what I'm doing flying about in a world that looks oddly weird, right? Why is this all wool? Why is that blue? Why is that pink? Why is that purple? Well, I tried updating my world, and unfortunately, everything worked except for one mod, which is chipped. So the mod that gives me all of these block varieties. And minor problem is that all of those blocks disappeared after I updated the world. So what I'm doing now is I went back to the 1.18 version, and now I am swapping all of these blocks with a different type of wool. Then in the 1.21 of 1.20.1 version, I will go in, select all of these blocks, and then revert them back. So I will do like / replace pink wool or whatever with the blocks that I want, and then the entire road will change back to what it was. I just add the gradient, or like insert the gradient that I used, and then it'll get switched. What else? I think the performance was actually better in the new world, or in the new version. That might be because it wasn't all loaded yet, but it was running really smoothly actually. Right now, when I'm not using shaders, I'm having like I have like 90 FPS almost, but in the other world, I had like nearly 170. So I don't know if that's something that's gonna stay, but that would be very nice. Yeah, so basically all of those chip blocks disappeared. That means basically all of the walls here, everything that's colored right now disappeared. It was this giant hole. Maybe I can send like a screenshot of what happened. And also one unfortunate thing happened when I was changing out these this dirt gradient that I used. I accidentally forgot to add something to replace it with. And World Edit sees that as me going, yeah, just replace everything with this. So for a second, the entire world got changed to a gradient of these 5 blocks. And it crashed my game. And I tried to undo. And it sort of worked because here we are. But there is a tiny remnant. And there is a streak of dirt everything going from there all the way to into the ocean here. And it stops right there. So maybe I can find a way to swap that back, but thankfully I'm very happy that it's only this instead of everything. Otherwise I would have had to reload it like a backup and do everything over again. Okay, so now we are in 1.20. My FPS is really great. I have it capped at 180, so that's why it doesn't go over that. Because my monitor is 180, so why would I have it go higher? This is what the world looks like. I forgot a couple things that were a little too specific for me to really care about, like the edge of this thing. I also forgot this wall and was something else, right? This thing, the T-Rex sign. Do I not have diagonal fences? Do I have to right click every single one? Now this, however, this is gonna be a little bit of a problem. I feel like, yes, it's big, but at the same time, I feel like I could just cover this and be done with it. Maybe I could fill it with like stone, so it's at least a little filled up. Oh, okay. Maybe this will work. Maybe make it a little... Make it a little bigger. That's sort of fine. Now what to do here? We can just do 10. Oh, never mind. 6. Okay, so while it is a bit weird, I think I've made it look ever so slightly presentable. I have to go in by hand and fix things up, but at least there's not a giant gaping hole in our world anymore. I am currently getting better performance with distant horizons with shaders on than I was in my old in the old version of our world with lower render distance. So right now I'm getting 90 FPS and I'm able to see the entire park at all times. So I would say that this is a win. I can even see the mosasaurs from way up here. Alright, after I change everything back, I need to like somehow redo the LODs that distant horizons loads, because right now it thinks that, like, for instance, this is yellow, and then I come closer, and then it loads in what is supposed to be there, which is gray. And then I go back away, and it'll be yellow again. So the same is happening there with the orange, and it's yellow over there as well, which I already changed. And there's some pink spots right there. So yeah, maybe there's a way to redo that. Also, some of the blocks that were in 1.18 from the chip mod are not in this version, which is weird. Because, like, I get making more variety, but why remove some, right? One of my favorite blocks was Rocky Stone, which is no longer in here for some reason. So that's a shame. And there's also a couple others that I noticed that were gone. Also, the pillars have changed texture, which is fine. I just noticed I was recording for the past 4.5 hours while working on this thing, while I didn't mean to. So that was interesting. I was getting ready to record this segment, and then I noticed the timer being at 4.5 hours, and I just kind of... I was shocked. The video file is like 50 gigabytes. But I think we are about finished. So of course there's going to be things that I've forgotten, but those will be fixed over time. Okay, help me think for a second. I don't know what to think of this. Oh, we have a visitor. I made the back of the cave like snow, and I also gathered a lot of ice. I don't really know where I'm going with this. Do I replace this grass with also puzzle? I think that might work. And maybe around the edges add in a dirt variety, like coarse dirt or whatever. I don't know exactly what I want to do. One thing I do know is that when the sun comes by, this area in particular is extra sunny. So I was gonna make like a basking area where they can just lie down in the sun and get some vitamin D or whatever. So that could be either a rock or a climbing tree, or a rock here and a climbing tree somewhere else. But this needs something else. This alone is too bland. I could add the snow layers that I think you make like that, right? Where you just gonna go around the edges and pile up the snow. Perhaps that could add the interest that it needs. Unless that torch is gonna melt it. It looks a little bit better, but it's not the thing that we need to make this work. I do think that looks better. But now it's a little boring still. I'll go bang my head against the wall and then see if any ideas come up. And then I will be back as soon as I either figure something out or I broke my skull. You know what? Before all that, let's just get some Smilodons in the cultivators. Let's see, we do have Smilodon, right? Yeah, a bunch. I think 4. Why did that sound like it was coming from over here? Are you... I don't know if the audio is picking this up, but the cow's right there, and it sounds like it's like right here. Okay, minor update. This is what we're looking at right now. I removed a lot of the puzzle because it was kind of overwhelming, and I actually expanded the snow and ice. So here we have some like icicles, that's what they're called, dripping down into an ice pool. A whole slither of ice going down the wall. Added a whole bunch more of these snow layers, and over here we have what is supposed to be like a mammoth frozen in ice. I don't have any regular ice because I could use that as like the window as well. That is my idea currently. I thought that was pretty interesting looking. I think using the like actual normal ice will be better because it kind of blends in more and it's a little vaguer to look through. So I think that makes a little more sense. Yeah, I pulled another line of ice all the way through here, and between the snow and the puzzle I added a layer of like kind of a transition between snow, stone, coarse dirt, and then puzzle. And I think right now it's looking pretty good. I think we need some more icicles, and I'm pretty sure that Chipped has packed ice pointed dripstone, so we can use those as well. Maybe calcite to look like snow, even though snow doesn't drip like that, question mark. Yeah, that's the status update for now. Also, I found out that I forgot to install the replay mod, so that's why there's no replay of this part and such. I will try to think of that soon, but I gotta take a little break and then we can continue. I have a couple ideas of what we can do for the enclosure itself. I'm thinking of tiger enclosures, right? So what we could do is have like a big jungle gym cat thing, right? That they could play on. So we have like platforms like raised off the ground with bridges in between, or scratching posts, trees that they can climb in, just a whole bunch of enrichment, right? Sabre-tooth, large cat, makes sense, right? I don't know how much climbing they did. I wasn't there, so they'll just deal with it. They can have a little swim or play in the snow. Maybe we should put like a snowman in here. That doesn't really work because it'll turn into a snow golem. Anyway, I think we are on track to greatness. And whenever I have more exciting news, I will keep... The bats keep spawning. Guys, I have an idea. And it involves a water bottle. You might be thinking, what are you going to do with that? But we are in 1.20. We have mud. Should I swap out this puzzle with mud? That is a rhetorical question because I have already made up my mind and I'm going to do it. And hopefully it's going to look nice. So otherwise I'm switching right back to 1.18. Grr. Do we like that? I think we like that. Maybe it needs to come down a little bit further. Maybe it should have been the entire floor of this place. But I quite like it. I think it has a very nice color. I mean, it's also not the vanilla texture, right? Because I'm using a texture pack. But, should be fine regardless. I should probably go find a mangrove swamp. So I don't have to do that again, and I can just get a whole bunch of stacks of whatever and then be done with it. Another thing I have forgotten about, in 1.20 we have armor trims, I'm pretty sure. So if we could get some of those, that would be pretty cool, right? I still need to upgrade my stuff to netherite, but that'll come one day. Okay, we need to go west, which is that way. Yikes. How about you all? What? Why are you so... Why did that happen? Why did he explode so quickly? Is that just... If this guy is going to rapid fire me... No, that's pretty normal. Why did those creepers just instantly explode? Okay, should be right here. There it is. Armor trims... Nope. Okay, better luck next time. I'll keep you posted. Oh! Oh! Look what we got. That's certainly interesting. I wasn't expecting to get that so fast. What's in this? Absolutely nothing. Let's keep going. Okay, that search led nowhere, but I teleported over to this mountain we have. And there is a mangrove swamp 9,000 blocks in this direction. Here we go. And we have arrived. Look at all these mangrove propagules and mangrove roots. Okay, now it's time to harvest. I would say that that was a pretty good haul. We have a whole bunch of mud. We have mangrove roots, which are nice. We have a bunch of those propagules so we can get more. I got a bunch of lily pads as well. And a sniffer egg, which we can do something with. Let me know what we should do with the sniffer. Should we make like make it its own exhibit, or do we just kind of make it like a little pet in a corner? Another question I had, by the way, was you come down here, right? This is the big entrance to this place. And I was thinking, do we leave this open or do we close this side? Do we make it so you're able to watch into both at the same time? Or do we make it so you can only watch here, walk around, walk around and then watch over on this side? Because of what I'm thinking is, if you have both sides here, you are going to get a big bottleneck of people just standing here looking at both sides. You have kids going like, oh, look at that, and then they go to the other side, look at that, and then they just kind of clutter the entire hallway. And this way, if we separate it, we can have everyone looking at the same thing here and have it a nice line that keeps going. And then maybe from this point onwards, we can open it up. I feel like that may be the best course of action. Now we can put the mud in. Let's see, let's put this away. I gotta remember, we have a sniffer now. Grab that, remove that, and start smacking this stuff down, which is so much faster than what I did before. I don't know if there's like any good mud farms, but if there is, I'm in the business, so let me know if you know any. Another thing I'm afraid of is the Smilodons getting up here and just going like this and killing themselves. I hope that if they get hurt like once, they will run over to a feeder and go away and heal. Yeah, I fear this. I fear this slaps, actually. So now we can get into the little itty bitty details. But before we do that, we could technically already get these guys in here. So let's see if any failed and if I need to redo them. Okay, where? Oh, right, it's embryos. So we need, what, a cow? Multiple cows? Sorry for all the noise, by the way, but I just noticed that this says catenary compatible. Click on fences and walls to create a catenary. Does this mean that since I updated, I can connect walls? Does it? Oh my god, it stops. Guys, this opens a whole new can of worms. I don't know. Is that what you call it? Whatever it is, I'm excited. I'm excited to use that. So I don't really know how exactly this will go, but I'm just kind of hoping that if I put them on a fence, they will just kind of sit here and then poop out the Smilodons. And now if I grab my Dinopedia, they are embryoing pretty slowly. Now that I'm thinking about it, we can use a lot of ropes making a climbing structure for the Smilodons. Oh, that's actually a good one. Wait, they can escape. I need to make a door, and I need to put glass in here. Oh, I can do diagonal panes now. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I updated, even though it was such a struggle. Noise! I heard noises. They're here. Oh. Well, now I turned all of them into... Look at these guys. Is that all of them? Oh, one's already over there. So we have 1, 2, and one is playing in the ice. Okay, that last part went pretty quickly. Now, can we tame these guys? Do I still have some steak? Or does that not? That doesn't work like that, I guess. Let's have a look at you. There you go. Good morning. I put some new windows in. And this is what it looks like. I think it's a whole lot cleaner when it's just connected textures. And you can look straight in without any trouble. I almost forgot. Now that we have this, there is one more thing I needed to show you guys. And that is, I don't have any on hand right now. But if I look up terracotta, you will see some interesting looking things. Someone in my comments actually told me about this resource pack that Buzzycombs had made, which turned some of the glazed terracotta into dinosaur plushies. And as soon as I heard, I just had to put them absolutely everywhere. So we can put those in the gift shop, we can put those around the park. We can put those in the enclosures as like toys that they can play with. There's a whole bunch of things that we can do with them. Also, look at this floor. Do we like this? It's it has this border around it, and it has this inside of a log pattern that's like offset with the rest of the blocks. So I thought it looked kind of nice, kind of clean. It has some nice texture on it, but it's not too distracting, so just keep looking this way. Yeah, I think this is nice. Apologies if there's some background noise, but now we have a Smilodon skull. I think it turned out pretty cool. You have like the big sabre-teeth and some little teeth to the sides, and this is basically our entrance. I'm gonna make some sort of small mountain around it, I think, to make it sit on something. So it's not just like a floating head with like a whole lot of grass around it. It's gotta fit in somehow. Yeah, I modeled it after a real Smilodon skull. So I just went into creative and I grabbed the reference and tried to like match it as close as possible. But I think if you pull up a reference, this looks pretty nice. It even has like all of the holes everywhere. There. Yeah, that's nice. I like it. Now I gotta go sleep, and we gotta make this entrance look prettier. Okay, so I haven't really worked on the hill or the mountain or the mount, whatever this is gonna be, but I have been working on the tunnel inside, and I made it look like some sort of cave with some torches and some cave paintings on the walls. I thought that might fit nicely. Now I just need to add a roof to this area and add some lighting, some benches, some trash cans, and I think we will be done here. I also re-added the effective mod, so that's what gives it that nice waterfall looking effect. And I also need to figure out how to properly get inside here, because right now this being underneath here doesn't really work, because then you have to tear open the floor to get to it. So maybe like a ladder, like over there, or on that side. Either could work. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this place turned out. And as soon as we get it finished, I'll be even happier. You know what? I don't feel like it. I have taken forever getting this episode out, and the updating took forever, and I want this video uploaded. I promise I will finish this, of course. But I have finished the inside here. I don't know why this is missing. Sure, whatever. I've given it a roof, made it look all cave-like. Added benches, trash cans. And now, let's do a little quick fly-through. I would say this place is done. I really like this. I feel like a broken record, but like every time I make anything, I'm like, oh, this might be my favorite one yet. And then I make something else. And then, oh, this might be my favorite one yet. But yeah. I also wanted to quickly say, we are 2 members away from having 100 Discord members. So if you feel like you want to talk to fellow nerds that like dinosaurs and Minecraft, feel free to join the Discord. The link will be in the description. Also, feel free to subscribe if you like this type of stuff. I know 1,300 of you already have, which is crazy. But yeah, I will finish this. Subscribe, join the Discord. Give me name suggestions for these guys. I don't know, what else do I say? What else do I do? Did I forget something? I don't know. Oh well. See you next time.